What a day it was in South Florida. You were there at the press conference. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the amount of people that were there, the buzz in and around the city.
It was a pretty big buzz from a media perspective, man. I can't lie. I would say it rivals, maybe surpasses what we saw at MLS Cup. A lot of media from not just South Florida. We had some guys from England. Just from all over, very interested in David Beckham making this announcement that he wants to bring a team to Miami, which is something we've all known for quite some time. But today it was official. Today was, as his business partner Marcelo Claudio said, the first step in a long marathon, the first official step in a long marathon for them. So the buzz was pretty big from a media perspective. From a fan's point of view, there was 20 to 30 really loud, Southern Legion, which is the supporters club down here, members, and then they were being noisy and making their presence felt. Some people said, it's a small crowd, but it's a Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. In South Florida. It's going to be kind of hard to get, a lot of fans out there. But the buzz was pretty good, and as the event wore on, you could tell how big of a deal it was.
Frank, well, let's talk about the critics that are out there saying, why is it different this time around when the Tampa Bay Mutiny and the Miami Fusion basically fell flat on their face? What's different this time around?
Well, I mean, if you listen to what Don Garber has been saying, and what David Beckham has been saying, and what the ownership group is thinking, pretty much they see this MLS as a more mature MLS, and Miami as a more mature market. I think one thing that Garber has pointed to in the past is TV ratings for cities that don't have MLS clubs. Miami's pretty high on there in terms of TV ratings. So the interest is here. Obviously, down here you have a lot of hardcore soccer fans. Maybe not hardcore MLS fans, but there are a lot of hardcore soccer fans. And now it's about tapping into that market and potentially turning them into MLS fans and showing what they can do. Now, of course, what's different this time around will have to be, a soccer-specific stadium in the heart of Miami, not in Fort Lauderdale like last time when the Fusion were playing at Lockhart. And you're going to need to bring in big-name players, BP players. With Beckham, you have that. You have the opportunity to do that. He's obviously said it today at the beginning of his press conference that, he already has players hitting him up, calling him, sending him texts, asking him, hey, how can I get involved with this MLS Miami team? So the interest is there. Of course, they're going to have to do it right, and it's more than just a soccer-specific stadium. It's more than just big names. It's also about being successful on the field and providing more than just a sporting event. I wrote about this today for a story for Ibis. It just came out on Soccer by Ibis, where it pretty much mentions that the Miami Heat is something that Beckham referenced today. And I've been to Miami Heat games. I will admit that I am a Miami Heat fan. Haven't been born and raised here, but Miami Heat, if you go to one of their games,
it's an event, Frank. Well, let's be honest. It's an event. It's where the stars go. You want to be seen. It's a ticket that you want to get. And this is my concern for this Miami franchise. You said that the city of Miami is a very smart, soccer-savvy city. And it's not necessarily an MLS city, but a smart soccer city. This is where I believe, Franco, that David, Marcello, and even Fuller there, Simon Fuller, really have to get it right with their DPs. They can't be signing just anybody that's over 30 and has had a good career. They have to hit one right out of the park like Tim Leiweke did with Bradley and Defoe.
I agree, absolutely. But with Beckham's connections, I mean, that should be, with Beckham's connections and Claudio's pockets, I mean, that should be feasible, right? That you would think that they would be able to do that. And I have no reason to say they wouldn't. It's Miami. Who doesn't love Miami? I mean, I had people down here, that work in the business that I work with up north, and they're like, man, so lovely down here. I'm dealing with, 6 inches of snow up north. It's freezing, and so who doesn't want to be in Miami? I see the DP. Yeah, it's going to be a big step for this MLS Miami franchise, but I see it happening. And back to the spectacle thing really quickly. Something that Claudio mentioned today that didn't get used around quite a bit is that Simon Fuller is an expert at entertainment. Obviously, he found American Idol, and he was on top of that. So they have plans. From what I was reading between the lines, they have plans to make it not just a sporting event, but a sporting spectacle for everyone.
Something that was missed today in the press conference, Franco, I didn't hear it discussed, maybe you did, was the grassroots youth clubs in the Miami area. Are they going to make sure that they make them feel part of this Miami franchise family? Or are they just trying to go and tap into the adult market, the more mature market that is coming there to spend a lot of money?
The only thing that was said during the announcement portion of today was that, was when Beckham said he wants to build an academy and nurture, the future of soccer in the United States or Mexico, wherever the players' backgrounds are from, but he wants to have an academy in Miami. As far as youth, there was not much else that I heard. There was, however, Clouded did, however, say that, that they are looking to involve the community, and they want to do that. And during the next 3 years, because Clouded did tell me today that he's looking, they're looking to start in 2017. That's the goal. But they are looking to involve the community in that time frame, whether that's involving the current youth systems, the youth setups. I'm not sure. David Beckham today was scheduled to make an appearance in West Kendall with some of the kids that play for the local soccer team over there. So I would assume so. I would assume that they would not ignore that part, but I don't know that for sure.
Franco, it was adamant today that Marcello Claude made it clear that they would not kick off to 2017. I was surprised, but I was quite happy that he said that so that people didn't expect anything sooner than that they want to get it right. They want to do it right, whether it's the stadium getting that right, whether it's making sure they sign the right players, getting everything in place. I think this is a smart business move.
Yeah, it's a good move. Get everything aligned. You don't want to start in 2016 and things don't go well at a temporary stadium. The atmosphere is not the same, and then 2017 you have to start up and try to regain that buzz that you might have lost in year one. So it's probably a good move from them, not to have to start sooner. It gives them more time to build, more time to establish connections, more time to really get this thing right. And I think they will. Listening to them talk, some people have said, you're a Miami guy, so you're gonna back it. But no, I've covered the Strikers, and I'm more I've been raised more in Fort Lauderdale than I have in Miami, and in Fort Lauderdale there's a lot of things wrong. And this, from what I'm hearing, they still has the action stuff be put into place, but from what I'm hearing, this Miami ownership group knows what they're doing. They have a plan. They have an approach. The only thing that was kind of concerning for me from today's announcement was when David Beckham said during his announcement, and when Claudia said afterwards, that they envision potentially having thousands of fans walking to the stadium in the port, kind of like Seattle has their March to the Match. And while that would be great, I don't know if you're going to see that in Miami with 90-degree weather. I don't know if you're going to see hordes of fans just walking with their scarves across a bridge in 90-degree, 95-degree weather, especially in the summertime. So that might be a little ambitious, but besides from that, everything that I've heard, it seems pretty possible.
Franco, you know this city inside out. In your honest heart of hearts, do you really believe this time around it will work, number one? And number two, what are the locals saying there? What are some of your friends that are still down there saying? What is some of your family saying? Are they believing that this time around it will work just because it's Beckham and it's because it's an owner with deep pockets?
It's funny. Ever since I've come back in December after the MLS season ended, and I come down for the winter for preseason stuff and combine, I've tried to gauge people's opinions about teams here and what it would take for them to go out and be a regular at the stadium. And from the people I've spoken to in Fort Lauderdale, which is a good 30, 45 minutes depending on where you are from Miami, they say that a winning team with some big names will draw their interest. Of course, they still like the European, South American soccer, but they said a team backed by Beckham that has their own stadium, that has money, that has good players, that play attractive soccer. I know it's a lot of prerequisites, but that's how it is down here. And it seems like there is a general an interest in obviously soccer's growing, and there's of course soccer's played here, almost at every park you could find. So, MLS can work here if it's done right. And again, it's really tricky to pull it off. They have to win. I compare it to the Red Bulls. If the Red Bulls have a bad season, people will not show up to Red Bull Arena.
Yep.
If they do win, maybe they still don't show up. But MLS in Miami, for it to succeed, they have to have a winning team, big name players, attractive style of play, all the goodies. But it is possible. I do think it is possible, especially with Orlando a few hours away and that rivalry being built up, because that's going to happen. Orlando's already talking junk on Twitter.
And that's great to hear.